About since we're gonna since we're gonna start going in on Rob a little. We're not going in on Rob, but I mean, listen, let's be honest. Mistakes have been made. Right? I think we can all acknowledge that, right? Mistakes have been made. It's funny though, because I was watching the Hard Knocks off season for the New York Giants, and something very interesting I thought happened. It was subtle and interesting. Um, you know, the GM or whoever for the Carolina Panthers and the GM for the New York Giants, they're actually really good buddies, and so they're both at the like a Senior Bowl, the East West Senior Bowl or whatever, and the GM for the Panthers goes, "Oh, so will you give me two firsts for Brian Burns or what?" And they playfully go back and forth, and what ends up happening? Brian Burns gets traded to the New York Giants, and then like I said, they're really good buddies. Their families go on vacation, or they're probably on vacation together right now since the summer. Um, so I bring that up to say that deals are made based off of relationships. So it kind of seems as though Rob doesn't necessarily have those relationships yet. Because, like LeBron said, they, Rob tried. He tried, obviously, to make some moves, but nobody was willing to play ball. So Rob needs to work on his he needs to work on his relationships that he has around the league. Other than that, I mean, if he doesn't, we'll just be sitting here like we did this season, this off season, sitting here twiddling our thumbs, looking at everywhere, else, signing everywhere else. But
Um,
yeah,
go ahead.
no, what you got to say? Because I mean, this is a long list of the things that of the quote unquote things that Rob has or hasn't done.
You have to read them.
Yeah, I can read them real quick. I mean, not real quick, but we'll see. So let's see. So it starts off terrible decisions Rob Pelinka has made since LeBron James chose to sign with the Lakers. So a very public and failed pursuit of Dan Hurley, missing on Tyronn Lue because he refused to give him a fourth year on his contract, failure to trade for Kyrie at the trade deadline, failure to land Kawhi Leonard in free agency, who then signed with the Clippers. In 2018, 2019, Pelinka surrounded the best player in the world who had just dragged the Cavaliers to the NBA Finals with a young Lonzo Ball, who had arguably the worst jump shot in the league, a young Brandon Ingram, who was a 67% free throw shooter at the time, and also signed a bunch of misfits such as Lance Stevenson, Michael Beasley, and a and a washed Tyson Chandler.
Misfits.
I mean, they were a bunch of misfits. They were let's I mean, Lance and Beasley and Tyson, they were at the end of their careers. I mean, it is what it is.
Uh-huh.
Lonzo and Ingram, I mean, they were our draft picks. They were already on the team. So, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that one. So, couldn't land Jimmy Butler in the same free agency as Kawhi. Jimmy Butler was
They
never.
didn't go after Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler was never coming here. I don't think so. Here's my big one. Chose Taylor Horton
Oh
Tucker.
my God.
Taylor Horton Trash over Alex Caruso in free agency, who was then later traded for Patrick Beverly.
Well, you can thank for that. You can thank LeBron for that. You don't blame LeBron for that.
Which part?
He is the lead GM. Lead GM.
Cause you know who scouted THT?
You said LeBron is the reason why THT.
You know who scouted THT?
If it ain't Rob, it's
Who scouted
LeBron fault.
THT?
That's how I'm
Huh?
going.
You know who
scouted
scouted THT?
Who's got? Shut up and answer the damn. Who's got a THT?
LeBron. LeBron was the
Ask,
first one to discover THT.
ask the question again, Shane. Do you know who?
The late GM, huh? Listen,
He
when it
he
comes,
saw THT playing on TV somewhere. Like, he told Rich Paul, "Hey, you need to go after him." That's how he got the clutch. That's how he maneuvered to the Lakers, and apparently that's how he got his contract.
Wait, what player had? Wait, don't tell me the Lakers had the kid that came from Memphis and didn't work out, and then he ends up going somewhere else. I forgot. What's his name? That dude was supposed to be real. We didn't have
Oh,
him, did
Sam
we?
Giddy.
No, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Y'all, never
well,
mind.
either way, listen, they chose THT over Alex Caruso, which
I mean, he did have a
terrible,
game where he scored
terrible,
40 points.
terrible,
When was the last time Caruso scored 40 points?
terrible mistake. Which one of them has a championship? Oh, that's right. It was Caruso.
They
Okay,
both at the championship, Sherlock.
doesn't matter. Caruso is an actual part of the team. You know what I mean?
Technically, he was too, but go ahead.
A rotation piece. Who?
I mean, you could say that, but 9 million to
No,
somebody who barely averaged 5 points a game.
Caruso was a vital piece of that team. You go back and actually watch. Don't with Caruso.
Very much so, but I'm not paying
He's
9
a
million for him.
star role player. We know what he is. He goes out there, he plays defense, he does things that do not translate to the stat sheet a lot of times. But when you get deflections, when you get stops, when you get hockey assists, when you make the right plays, that makes your team better.
All that's well and good, but that's not worth 9 million.
When you play basketball, you have to make the right plays and make the right pass and play good defense and hustle. You get on the floor. You need players like that. And this clown here talking about it's a dime a dozen. It's really not. Because a lot of these guys were star players their whole entire lives. So making the transition to being a role player in the NBA is not easy. And that's why it's hard to find star role players. There's not everybody in the league that can be a Drew Holiday out there. There's not everybody in the league that can be a Derek White out there. There's not everybody in the league that can be an Alex Caruso out there. There's not everybody in the league that can be back in the day, like a Derek Fisher, a Robert Ory, a Rick Fox. These players, these role players, they're not exactly easy to find because that transition from, oh my gosh, this is my team, I'm going to always have the ball, to I need to play defense. I need to make the right rotations. I need to make sure I'm talking on defense. I need to get deflections. I need to make the right pass. I need to help make my teammates better. That's not an easy transition for a lot of players. So that's why great role players are not a dime a dozen. They're not easy to find. And that's why our team somewhat lacked last season. Because we're sitting here, okay, you let Shane Murray tell it they're a dime a dozen, then why the hell we got trash ass Cam Reddish out there running around twiddling his fucking hair and Gabe Vincent out there sitting courtside most of the season? Then when he does come back, he's out there just launching and missing and launching and missing and launching and missing.
Gabe got paid because of how he performed in the playoffs the year before. Cam was here because of Darvin.
Cam was trash. Let's call it what it is. Keep going down the list. We drafted Jalen Hood-Schifino. In context, we drafted Jalen Hood-Schifino when we could have drafted Jaime Jaquez, who literally got picked with the next pick by the Heat.
Jaime Jaquez wasn't going to play.
Who's a better player, do we think, though?
Jaime Jaquez, but Jaime Jaquez wasn't going to play.
Well, I mean, it's debatable. I think he could have played his way into the rotation.
No, not with Darvin. He was a better fit in Miami.
Goes to say a
He
lot about.
benched he benched Austin Reeves. He benched Ruri. Ain't he gonna play? I mean, Jaquez.
Goes to say a lot about Coach Hawk.